Up with KREM begins now.
Breaking news at 6 o'clock. Police in San Diego are on scene after a small plane crashed into a neighborhood this morning. We are going to get to a live picture here. Here's what we know. The plane crashed around 4 a.m., sparking fires throughout the neighborhood. Several homes and cars were burned. Police have evacuated several of those neighborhoods, and they are working to go to every home impacted by the crash to make sure nobody was hurt. You're taking a look at some of the pictures here. Incredible pictures and video coming out of San Diego right now. You can see the charred vehicles and still some of the debris left behind by this crash. So right now we are working to find out if anyone was hurt. Police have not shared details about injuries. We will continue to follow this breaking news again out of San Diego, where a small plane crashed into a neighborhood. We'll keep you updated here on the show. We do say good morning to you on this Thursday. Welcome to Up with KREM. It is May 22nd, 2025. Let's get you out the door and ready for the day with Nicole Hernandez tracking today's forecast for us. Nicole, it sounds like it's going to be a little bit of a cloudy Thursday. Good morning. It
is going to be a little bit cloudy, mostly for this morning. Good news, none of this lasts really all that long. We do have all these clouds over Coeur d'Alene. We don't have the showers quite yet, at least right here in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. They're a little bit southwest of us right now, but it is 47 degrees and it says partly sunny for the most part. We're cloudy this morning because of those incoming chances for showers. As we look forward to the rest of the day, most of those showers move their way out by this afternoon. Then we're left with just more cloud cover, and then even the clouds start moving their way out by this evening as well.
Here's a live look at the traffic impact this morning from I-90 and Freya. Right now, you can see traffic is moving nice and smoothly here in the 6 o'clock hour. We're not seeing any slowdowns on our freeways and highways today. Right now, we'll keep you updated, though, if anything changes. On Up with KREM, we bring you weather and traffic updates together every 30 minutes. More breaking news this morning. After an all-night debate, the House narrowly passed President Trump's domestic policy bill early this morning. The bill passed by just one vote, 215 to 214. It now heads to the Senate. CBS News' Naomi Ruckham has a look at the overnight session.
By a razor-thin margin and after a marathon night of speeches from both sides, the House of Representatives passed the president's massive budget package, dubbed the One Big Beautiful Bill Act.
The bill is passed.
Just before 7 a.m. Eastern, in a 215 to 214 vote, all but two House Republicans supported the legislation. The bill finally made its way to the floor late Wednesday after a more than 20-hour-long Rules Committee meeting. President Trump himself also met with holdouts from the House Freedom Caucus yesterday, after making a rare trip to Capitol Hill Tuesday to rally support.
Thank you so much.
While celebrating the vote, House Republicans gave all glory to the president.
None of this would be possible without the leadership of President Trump, who every step of the way not only laid out the vision, ran a campaign on this vision, but every step of the way too said, whatever you need, let me know.
The bill would make the 2017 tax cuts permanent and includes additional funding for border security, deportations, and defense, along with spending cuts to entitlement programs. Democrats tried to stall the process, suggesting new amendments and giving speeches, but they didn't have enough votes to stop the bill outright.
Stand up for Medicaid, stand up for nutritional assistance, stand up for our children, stand up for our veterans.
The bill now goes to the Senate, where some Republicans have already voiced opposition. Congressional leaders say they want the legislation on the president's desk by the 4th of July. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
More breaking news overnight out of Washington, D.C. Police say two staff members of Israel's embassy have been shot and killed outside a Jewish museum. D.C. Metro Police say they've arrested a Chicago man who allegedly shouted "Free Palestine" before being taken into custody. Israel's UN ambassador says the man and woman killed were a couple who were expected to get engaged in Jerusalem next week. Israel's UN ambassador is calling this anti-Semitic terrorism. This is a breaking story. We will bring you updates throughout the morning. 6:05 this morning, we are learning more about the recently signed Washington state budget and how it's impacting Eastern Washington. The Washington State University Team Health Building on the Spokane campus is now in limbo. The university hired designers and builders a little more than a year ago, and construction was tentatively planned to start in July. The building would serve students in all three WSU Spokane Health colleges, the College of Nursing, Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences, as well as the Elson S. Floyd College of Medicine. WSU Spokane calls the building a cutting-edge simulation facility that would better prepare future healthcare professionals.
That's a building that will do interdisciplinary training. WC brought forward a $37 million request. Because of inflation, they raised it to $50 million. That's where we can train more docs and nurses, and the fact that wasn't funded in our capital budget is, I think, disappointing.
State Senator Marcus Riccelli, who you just heard from, says he will continue to work to secure funding for the building. KREM 2 did reach out to WSU Spokane for a statement and have not heard back. While the new state budget has impacted some projects, it did not impact funding for the North Spokane Corridor, meaning the decades-long project is slated to be done in 5 years. WSDOT reports the state budget allocates $1.5 billion for the NSC. WSDOT says those dollars come from a funding package passed by the state legislature in 2015 known as Connecting Washington, as well as from a new 6-cent gas tax increase signed into law this year. At last night's community meeting, WSDOT highlighted different discussions they've had with the community throughout the year, including routes, artwork, and the status of the corridor.
We do things that are, I guess I'm going to say, connected and meaningful to the community. And I'm particularly proud of this one because I think the artists have done a really good job.
If you've missed some of the community meetings and are interested in voicing your thoughts, you can do that on WSDOT's website. WSDOT also shared the community meetings will return sometime in the fall. This morning we're covering North Idaho. The Department of Justice is suing the city of Troy, claiming it discriminated against a Christian church. The lawsuit claims Troy violated the Religious Land Use and Institutionalized Persons Act. It comes after it denied a conditional use permit for Christ Church. In the lawsuit, Christ Church claims it had outgrown its space for worship and tried to find a place to rent in a commercial area. However, the city denied the request, saying people living there opposed granting the permit application for the church. Continuing coverage this morning, the defense team for the man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students has filed a motion to delay the upcoming trial once again. New court documents show Brian Koberger's attorney argue they need more time to review the evidence and to complete their investigation. The motion raises concerns about the recent publicity, including the NBC Dateline special, which they say included leaked information on the case that was not publicly available. The trial is set to begin in August in Boise. No word on how long it could take the judge to rule on the motion. We have our complete Moscow murders coverage on KREM 2 Plus right now. Just download on your TV and watch for free. 6:09 this morning, the Spirit Lake Police Department is set to bring in their first ever narcotics detection dog. Corporal Joel Treefry shared with our news partners at the Bonner County Daily Bee he is excited about the new addition, adding it will help not only the Spirit Lake area but surrounding communities. Because of Spirit Lake's location, narcotics are frequently passing through. The average cost of having a narcotics detection dog on a police force can cost more than $14,000, meaning smaller departments often get priced out. The narcotics dog is set to join the force by early fall. For Spokane International Airport, the Memorial Day weekend means the start of summer travel. This year, the airport says it will be busier than ever. KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones live at the airport this morning for us with a look at what travelers can expect and some important reminders to make sure people can get through TSA. Good morning, Brandon.
Good morning, Tim. Well, and it's actually calmed down a little bit since the last time we had a chance to speak. Last time the lines were looking pretty long. Now they're back to kind of that normal kind of slower period for our airport. Of course, those early morning hours between about 4 and roughly 5:30 to 6, those are typically the busiest times here at the airport. But the Spokane International Airport, they recently sent out some information saying that this Memorial Day, their departing seats leaving the airport are 18% higher than they were this time last year. So last Memorial Day, we've seen an increase of 18% in departing airline seats. They expect that trend to represent most of the travel season this summer. And then another note, Spokane Public Schools, they're on a long weekend. Students are off Friday and on Monday. I already saw some families kind of heading out this weekend as well, so that could possibly be impacting those numbers. But if you and your family are traveling this weekend, here's another reminder that real ID protocols are officially in place. Washington travelers with an enhanced driver's license meet those standards. A passport also works. Idaho travelers, you'll have that real ID with that star in the top right corner. Another reminder that the airport is sending out: if you have a child who's younger than 12 years old traveling by themselves, you will need to have some proof of identification, a birth certificate, things of that nature. And then, as always, when you're traveling, just remember to pack your patience. Also, double check those carry-on bags. TSA guidelines still in place. You can't travel with liquids bigger than 3.4 ounces. So remember all of that, and it should be a great Memorial Day weekend. For now, reporting live here at the airport, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
Okay, every time we take a look at the radar this morning, I keep saying, oh, it's getting closer, it's getting closer. The rain is what I'm talking about here to Spokane. And every time we look, it kind of just keeps backing off. The whole system is starting to move, but it's really just losing power as it gets closer to Spokane. So we will start getting a few light showers here and there at some point this morning, but they'll be very, very light. This is about as light green as we can get for most of the area here. So there will be light, scattered showers across the region this morning that clear out by this afternoon, and then we get more and more clear as the day and the weekend continues.